Howdy, howdy, pirates. Soulhix here. Want to do a kind of a post raid, post FM type of uh, build thing for Saturn. I didn't get a post FM thing for the Nemesis, but mainly the main changes I would do would be the Com armor, alloy armor to Com 4, and then the change the resistors to the corrosive resistors. Personally, I'm doing corrosive resistors, corrosive sync drive. I meant because corrosive sync drive adds corrosive defense, and the Nemesis are kind of squishy on the sync drive on the corrosive defense side. So if you do get hit by scatterguns, it won't hurt as much. Because I've noticed a lot of damage with scatterguns on my Nemesis build, and they were really squishy against corrosive. But let's do this Saturn build. So first off, I would do all the specific corrosive specials, such as the HVC, um, and then there's a couple different specials you can do for scattergun reload. So there's the scatter system, which adds multi-shot to scattergun reload and more combat speed. But this one, it gives the multi-shot 3 scattergun reload of 60, gives you damage and not as much combat speed, but it's good enough. And just to show y'all what we're looking at, let's look at the actual hull. So the combat speed is kind of crappy. Oh, come on. Okay, so combat speed is kind of crappy. But to know this, the Saturn gives a ship bonus. So for every Saturn you have in your fleet, it gives you 10% combat speed and 1800 pen and corrosive defense. So that's in itself a really good. So the more holes you have in your fleet, the better. So and also it gets even better with the ring rock or the rock ring Saturn, is it adds 59, almost 6,000 defense to each stat. So that's good. And so I was figuring the combat speed difference, and that's about 2 combat speed for your hull. So every Saturn you have in your hull, it adds 2 combat speed to your fleet. So we'll gear that forwards and see what it is, how it goes. Um, so I'd say the Com 4 because it gives the best bonus for everything. Not as much as say uh, the reactive armor 3 because that gives 1400, 200 less, but and if we look at the reinforced chromium, it gives you 1188 corrosive survival. So uh, it's not actually the if you want to do chromium armor, the best thing to do is Com 4 because it's not that much. And the ship deflection and structure deflection, I don't think it's going to help that much. So personally, I would do the Com 4 because it has the overall best stats, has better corrosive survival, not as good penetrative survival as say reactive armor or something like that, but that's only around 200 less. So I'd say the Com 4 would be probably the best thing for that. Um, so let's look at what else. So also looking into the corrosive battery. I don't have any of these, so that's one thing that I need to get in the next raid or something like that. But if you don't have corrosive battery, you could just simply do the assault battery. If you're really worried about turret defense, which I don't think it's going to be a big problem, you go with siege battery 4. Um, but if you do siege battery 4, you'll have to worry about total weight, and that will be a problem because total weight is 25%, whereas the assault battery is weapon weight. So you don't have to worry about the total weight of the whole ship. So let's go with and then let's do, oh yeah. So there's lots of people saying, Hyper 30 it gives good bonuses, evade, combat speed, and projectile speed. The splash damage reduction, it's severely nerfed. You're not really getting too much splash damage reduction. You'll get hit by scatterguns. It'll help a little bit, but the splash damage reduction isn't as good as what it used to be. So that's an option, and if you want a speed option, that's a good idea. But the weakness of these scatters of the Saturn is the penetrative. So look at this. You're only getting 26 right now, and that's without armor yet. But still, 2600 isn't that much. If we look at the corrosive survival, it's way up there. The pen survival is really utter crap. So there's a couple ways to to help yourself in defense against penetrative, and in these targets, it'd be countermeasures, it would be armor, survival, or evade. And so personally, I would do evade in this sense, which would be agility system 4. And we could look into the speeds of it, because right now the speed is sad 22, and that's with the roaring barrel system. So there's that. Now for the engine, you could do the sync drives, and personally I'd go with the penetrative sync drive since it gives you more penetrative survival. It's faster than the resistors, and more turn speed, it looks like, and more map speed. Okay, so this is overall pretty good. Better. The evade both is the same, so go away. I hate that stupid pop-up. So I would personally do penetrative sync drive. So there's that. And let's look at the speed of it right now. So that's 41. And remember that each Saturn you put, it gives you 2. So you're looking at plus 10, so it's 51 combat speed. So I mean, it's not as good as other builds. Let's check out the Hyper 30 first. So you get less less evade, but it's 47. So you're looking at 57 combat speed, whereas the other one was I think 51. But so, and here's the main difference. It's 52 evade right here, whereas agility system you're looking at 66 evade. So that's I think that's a big deal. You're getting a lot more evade, and especially what I'm going to plan to do with this, you're going to get that evade even boosted higher. So yeah, you're missing around 6 combat speed right here. So that 6 combat speed can help you and whatnot. It's up to you. So let's go with the scatters. If you have enough scatters for this scatter gun, I'd do it. Fill them all full. Is it? Let's see if there's a weight difference. I'm not sure. I don't think I got the other scatter gun. No, I never did. No, it's the same. It's the same weight. It just you get more damage with this one, the limited one, and it gives submerged damage too. Same multi-shot, same reload. Everything is the same on it except for damage. You're looking at 1,350 damage, and that's per scattergun. So if you do have this limited scattergun, use them all. But for the sake of people not having them, I'll just do a bland build. And so here comes the countermeasures. So a lot of people, they put the missile defense system 3, or if they don't have that, the phalanx 4s, and that's good and all. The accuracy is kind of rough for that one. Accuracy is better on this one, but from what I've noticed, you need top accuracy, and if we don't have any accuracy on the hull itself, then it's not going to help. But what do we have? We have multi-shot. So what counters are there that can be multi-shot? Well, there's the multiform anti-missile and the switchblade anti-missile. Now, granted, these with the reload time of 12 seconds, you could reduce that 12 seconds down pretty fast, pretty low. But it's not going to be shooting down every single missile. So, but with the switchblades and the anti-form anti-missile, the multi-form anti-missile, the multi-shot is the key here, because multi-shot gives you two chances. On these countermeasures, it gives you two chances to shoot down one missile, whereas Phalanx 4s and Missile Defense System 3s, you get one shot per missile. So you get multi-shot of 2 just on the switchblade itself. And what does this hull have? It has a +3 multi-shot, so in fact you get 5 multi-shot. So that means that's 5 chances to shoot down one missile, and that's pretty good compared to what these missiles are capable of. Their flak evasion is super high, and that makes it really hard for anti-missiles in general to shoot them down. So what's better than one high accuracy missile, anti-missile? 70 isn't too bad, of accuracy, but I'm running, I think it was 85% anti-missile accuracy on my flagship, and it still can't shoot down all the missiles. So the accuracy does help, but it's not the solve everything issue. Whereas this one, you get 5 chances to kill that one missile, and it helps. In the past, I've done tests, and it does a lot better than Phalanx 4s. I'm not sure about Missile Defense System 3s, but I'm pretty sure it does the same thing too, because 5 chances to kill one missile opposed to 1 chance. So personally, I'd probably do switchblades or multiform. I don't have the multiform, sadly. I kind of wish I got that, but I'll leave it next time. So now we go to armor. So the armor, it's really simple. The ferrite columns, it gives you 100,000 armor points, which is pretty nice. But watch out, this sucker is pretty heavy. So that right there is with assault battery MK comm. So let's check it out if we have corrosive battery, and voila, you are. Oh wait, no need to fret. You could easily fix that by switching some of these to switchblades. See, you do one multiform and then one switchblade, and the multiform have better accuracy. So I would do that. Now, if you do, and it's just ideas, you could do all ferrite, folded ferrites, or what I personally would do would be a evade D5 EV, like I did on my Nemesis X. Gives you a bonus of 70% evade, which is damn good. And then, since this is, let's look at, what's the defense? Corrosive. It is still kind of squishy on penetrative, which a lot of evade will help with that. But if you still want some more defense on that, you do it at M armor. Now that boosts it to 100%, so 6,400 and 100% pen survival, which is pretty good. And those are some ideas. This is probably what I would build. But right now I'm not going to build Saturns. I'm only going to focus on one hull and one hull only. I might, if they give me enough tokens, if I get the chance of getting winning the tokens and that stuff, I might make a blank fleet of Saturns and maybe use the Rock Saturn as a flagship and use it like that. Who knows? But other than that, I'm not going to waste my time on Saturns, because I tried that with my Strikes and I fully built my Eradicators, and I did a half fleet of Strikes, and they're still half built and they suck. So But doesn't mean that I can't do a build for them, and I'm willing to do a build. I like to, test my mind and that stuff. So you could do 2 multiform anti-missiles with this armor setup. Anyway, but what is the combat speed? Let's check it out. So it's 42 combat speed. So that would be 52 combat speed total. Now there's different types of crews out there that give you combat speed. So let's look at what is it? The remote raiders. So the remote raiders will give you a 6th combat speed. So you're looking at 52 plus 6. That's 58 combat speed right there. And that's if you want to do the high evade one, because this gives you 70% evade. But let's check out the evade and the speed of it with the Hyper 30. So with Hyper 30, it reduces it down to 57 evade. Not as good as 70, but the movement speed is 58. And then if you do remote raiders, which gives you 30 combat speed, that's plus 6. So you're looking at 64 combat speed. Significantly a lot better. But ultimately, is speed going to be ally or is evade going to be ally? It's up for you to decide. And personally, I would go with evade. Evade is a key against the missiles here. But I'm pretty sure evade, speed helps a little bit. What about this one? What does this do? Doesn't do anything. Okay, it's good to know. How about that one? Countermeasure range, countermeasure reload. That's interesting special. I'm just looking at what other specials these work. I hate that stupid pop up. It needs to fucking die. So countermeasure reloads. What if it was a countermeasure reload that I can use? I mean, there's really not a slot that I can use it on, because I mean it's pretty much full specials. Also, let's look at this. Well, I can't click on it, but the CIC for it. To look at the CIC, all you have to do is go to Manticore, and it should save all the stuff. But these are the CICs, the Dion, whatever, and then what the hell, Tethys, the Tethys. So look at the Tethys. So the Tethys does 75% build damage and gives you 3,000 corrosive defense. That's pretty good. It could only be used on the Saturns. So, and the Dion gives you 20% splash and 6,000 corrosive defense. So, I mean, it's kind of obvious which one to use if you're looking for defense. Building damage, I don't see a need for it right now, unless they overpack us with more buildings than what we, can handle. But, honestly, from what my experience is, you just easily kill the ships first, then kill the buildings. And the buildings don't really pose a threat. So, personally, I'd probably go with the Dion CIC. And these are instant. They're like 1 second to refit on, so don't worry about the refits. Or, not from personal experience, from what I've heard. So, still worry if it is, I'm not sure. But from what I've heard and what KickSci says, it's 1 second. Or it's instant, whatever they say. So, I'll do the Dion corrosive survival, 6,000 splash, 20%. And that splash can do some pretty good. So, and that's basically it. I'd probably do the same build on the flagship, depending. So, let's see how many can I do some more multiform? No, I can't. So it's not like the Nemesis flag. It can't hold more countermeasures, which is kind of sad. More multiform would have helped a little bit in shooting down the missiles. And you could probably use this Rock Ring Saturn as a kind of countermeasure hull, but I guess that's not the case here. So But yeah, so I'd probably do the same build on the Rock Ring Saturn as the regular Saturns, since there's really no difference in it. Um, so that's always a good thing. And then Dion CIC will be the best thing, I think. So other than that, I believe that'd be the case there. So I'll copy this build and share it in the link below. So hopefully this build helps you. And if you have any ideas or concerns, and you can go ahead and shoot me a word. Uh, and if you want to choose a different route, such as Hyper 30, by all means you could do it and tell me the speed's good, but from what I understand, evade would be the key here because of the missiles. So, uh, but until next time, pirates, I hope this helps, and keep on trucking with the Saturns.